No. It was pretty crazy for one specific reason, but I want to get to that in a second. Luca was like, bro, like, you need to stop listening to this. Like, he was literally like, Gabe, how can you listen to this? It's literally horrible.
Do you prefer 2-in-1 or individual?
What does that even mean? Yeah, you did do your homework. Like, I can tell. They called us the Mantikids, bro, for so long. Like, all of our, like, we've been the jits in the scene.
I heard it all, baby.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
Bro, this is news to all of us.
But we thought that was gone. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, dude, this is actually so funny.
Real quick before we start, I just wanted to mention that we do these podcast recordings live on stream. We stream every single Wednesday at 6 p.m. EST on Twitch. It's an opportunity for you guys to come hang out, interact, and ask your questions directly to all of our guests. We also have a Discord if you want to keep talking more about deathcore and metalcore, or simply to keep up with everything that we're doing, upcoming guests, and all that jazz. I'll leave links to both of these things in the description wherever you are watching or listening. And with that out of the way, please enjoy this episode. Welcome to episode 9 of the Brutality podcast. We are joined this week by a Mantikore. How we doing, fellas?
What's up?
Hell yeah. I'm joined as always by my co-host, Yan. I've been chatting it up with the boys for the last 10 minutes, but Yan, I don't know if you want to say what's good.
It's super cool to have you guys. We were just listening to your music. It's freaking awesome. I love that freaking snare sound. You killed it. It's super sick. And props to, you know, all the crazy old school riffs. Like I saw the, you know, old school influence, and it's, you know, it's not easy to write in such like a cool way as you did. So it's super cool to have you guys here.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Of course,
man.
Of course. Yeah, let's get into it. I mean, I think usually it's a little bit simpler for us. We've got like maybe one person on the podcast, so I can kind of introduce the person. But we've got 3 people here, and I didn't have much info on you guys personally. So if you guys want to maybe just go one by one and say your name, say what's up, and what you do in the band.
Where do you want to go? Lucas.
I mean, yeah, Lucas, you can go right ahead.
I'm Lucas. I do guitar. I used to do some backing vocals, but now I just do guitar pretty much. So yeah.
There we go. We got Luca.
I'm Luca. I do drums and mostly like I guess lead vocals. All the lows are me.
Okay, cool. And then we got Gabe.
Yeah, I do guitars and I also do vocals. I do the highs. Luca mainly does the lows. We kind of split it.
All right, that's cool. That's cool, man. Yeah. So you guys were elephant in the room. You guys are here doing an interview, but I saw earlier in the story you guys posted the first and only interview. Because you guys have actually called it quit last week. Can you guys tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, Luca, you want to go first? I know you had something to say.
I'll do like. We've been a band for like a pretty long time. Obviously, I know there's more questions, so we'll get more into like the details later. But it's been a band since late 2019.
It's
really.
almost 4
like,
years. When we were looking, that's what I saw. Pretty long time.
It's been like we've changed like a lot, obviously, and we're also all involved in a lot of other projects. And I just feel like we don't really care much to do like deathcore that much anymore. It's something that kind of like we didn't have more motivation, right? And we just want to focus on things. And Gabe, you could.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like Lucas said, we've been a band for a long time. We've gone through a lot of like genre changes. We are all involved in a lot of projects, and like we're involved in so many that like what Lucas said, like we don't really care to write the deathcore stuff anymore. But like, I don't know. It felt like we weren't, at least for me, it felt like we weren't putting like what we wanted to into it anymore.
Yeah.
So
hearts
I figured,
in that,
I figured,
in the same
yeah.
place.
And like,
Yeah.
we started this band when we were like super young, and like, it definitely helped us grow as musicians a lot. And, I know we all had like a great time doing it, but it felt like it was time to put an end to it. It felt like a perfect time to do it.
Yeah, I mean, like from my perspective, it just like you don't need another reason than like you guys are artists. If you don't, feel like doing something, like you should never force yourself. Like, doesn't make any sense to just force yourself and do it to do it. Like, I'm not saying it's not art. Like a breakup is always like it's difficult to do, obviously, but when it feels like it's what you need to do and it's the end of a chapter. I mean, it's better to end
That's
it
basically
in a
what it
good
was.
way instead of forcing it and finishing it. Like we see that a lot, right? Like people are trying to keep going, but their heart is not there. The music is not there anymore. Like I think you're doing, from what
People
I'm
can tell
hearing,
at the end of the day, right?
Yes. Too. Yes. And just for you, I mean, like for mental health and all that, like it's a lot of work. I mean, working on multiple things. If your heart is not there, it's exhausting, and it's so I get it.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just end of a chapter type thing.
No, okay, man.
Yeah, it was definitely awesome.
Yeah, man. I mean, so you guys said early 2019 you guys started. So this was like pre-COVID, right?
No, it was late 2019.
It was like October, September.
2019.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then I guess how was it? Because you guys put out, what was the first? You guys put out music in 2020. The original songs that aren't really anywhere, but I could.
Wait, hold on. Have you heard those? Have you heard them?
Yeah.
They're on Bandcamp, I think.
That's
crazy. Arcane isn't on Bandcamp. Well, because I use Apple Music, and for whatever reason, it's still on Apple Music. Just a heads up.
Did you hear the cover?
Yeah.
Did you hear the cover?
I heard it all, baby.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
Bro, this is news to all of us.
Bro, we thought that was gone. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, dude, this is actually so funny.
So here's the thing. I thought it was kind of funny.
That's the thing with them, by the way. Like, if there's something to find, he's gonna find it. That's always.
That's good to know. That's good to know.
Well, the thing that I found kind of funny or ironic, I guess, was the It Dwells Within demo. I find a post on the Instagram saying like, oh, hey, like we're moving into a new chapter with our music. So we're going to take this album off of the internet. We're going to keep it on Bandcamp, but we're going to scrap it.
Yeah, that was the second thing we did.
We're still, so it's like, oh, we're stoked on this new stuff and it doesn't really represent us anymore. So let's take it off. It's a new chapter. But then when I was going through the music, it's like, wait, there's a 2020 release on here that's even earlier. Weird. But then I realized it was literally only on Apple Music. But I mean, but could you guys kind of talk to us, I guess, a bit about like those? We can kind of lump those two albums together if you want. But I guess, especially the first one, I'm curious because you guys were like super fucking young, right? Like how old were you guys?
Okay. So I'll start, and then they can say some more. But so there was our first release was something called Arcane, and I had been playing guitar for like maybe like 4 years or 3 years already. Sure. I think Lucas had been playing for maybe a year, and then Luca had also been playing for like a year.
So brand new to your instruments, like, most of you.
Yeah, we were all pretty new to our instruments, and like, I knew Lucas because I met him at like a summer camp, and then
that kind of dates.
And then and then Luca and Lucas met in school. And then like and then we all planned to hang out because me and Lucas wanted to like start a metal band like for a fucking while, and we could never find a drummer. So then like there was a video we watched literally the other night of us like practicing like in my living room, and Lucas on like an E-kit, and it's like worst guitar tone ever, like the worst breakdown I've ever heard. Like, oh
you
my
can't,
god,
but like
bro.
coming out of speakers or everyone with headphones. How's that work?
No. It was like a.
It was like
They have like an
a
amplifier.
small like 25
Okay.
watt rolling.
Sure,
amp.
Okay, that makes it even better. Yeah.
We had our little practice amp set up.
Yeah, the like I had this like Yamaha like $20 practice amp. I think Luca has it still. It's really fucking bad.
Hey, but I gotta add on. There's more practice lore. It gets
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I'm here
but
for it.
wait. One thing at a time, bro. So, yeah, no, we wrote Arcane. That was really us. Just like that was the first things we wrote together.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
First band for all of you.
No,
me and Lucas technically
Okay.
had something before, but I wouldn't really consider it,
it wasn't
going
We
anywhere.
never
It was
really
like,
wrote our own music.
you
for that
know,
band.
if you're
Sure.
like musically active when you're like 13 and 14, it's like that type of band. Like,
Yeah.
very whatever.
it was basically
but,
a cover band.
That was those were the first songs that we all wrote together, and you know, you said you heard them. They're not very good, but
I mean, I prefer the stuff you guys put out late last year, but you know, it's a thing. You know, it's not dog shit either. I mean, I think a lot of people who do their first music and no, come on, I've heard some. No. I know, but seriously, I'm serious. I've heard worse. We'll keep it at that.
that's definitely true. Yeah, that's definitely true. There's worse.
Yeah. I did worst, I'm sure. And I didn't even hear yet. I'm like, I once attempt to record like with a vocalist who never did vocal and with me who never played guitar. And somehow we did like 3 songs and I'm super glad it was never anywhere, but I'm sure it was worse. But everybody starts, really starts somewhere. And, as much as, you're practicing once you start recording for the first time, it's different also. So like
we didn't expect record. I remember like being pretty shocked of like how recording was when we got around to it. It was like a lot more
I mean, our
complicated
first
than we
recording
thought.
experience was not that great. We
Oh
can get
my
into
god,
that a bit later
it's pretty
though.
bad. Yo,
we're getting into
don't
that
say
now.
names.
You
Don't
wanna
say
get into that
names.
we're not gonna
Go
say
for it.
names.
Go for it.
No names.
Okay, Lucas, I'll let you tell them about the Dr. T sessions. After this.
Okay, got you.
Okay, so Arcane, we used to practice at the studio near us, and Arcane, we were 14 when we recorded that, and we had no idea about anything. Like, we had absolutely no idea what we were doing at all. And the way it was recorded, we all recorded live. We were all on the same stage with like no soundproofing, mic'd up everything, and then we all played at the same time, no click track, just almost one take for everything.
Yep.
Lucas thing broke,
him.
didn't it?
We lost
Locked,
Luca.
I knew it was gonna happen. It's okay. Anyways, wait, what was the last thing he said?
Well, it was all recorded
Yeah,
like a one
like a
take
live.
kind of.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it was recorded one take on that stage with like the drums were soundproof, but like we're right next to it. It wasn't soundproofed. And then they mixed it. Like that thing you're talking about is mixed apparently.
Okay.
It was
Right.
analog recording too.
Oh, okay.
Bro,
They hadn't been brought up to the times.
No.
It was weird though. That room was like half analog and half digital. It made no sense.
Okay.
Anyways. Yeah, that was the first thing we did, and the cover that you're talking about, just for everyone watching, was "Needles" by System of a Down. It was really bad. It was pretty bad.
I've heard a worse System of a Down cover by big artists more recently. I'm not going to say any more.
Oh
than that.
yeah, I forgot.
That's all I'll say.
Oh dude, it's funny though.
And to be fair, though, not an easy band to cover. If we're honest here, it's a pretty big challenge. Like don't get me wrong, I like this band, but like it's a special. No one sounds like this freaking like System of a Down is in their lane, so not easy to cover.
But yeah, that was the first thing we did. Like I said, it was not good. And Yeah, we were already writing for other stuff.
At the time, I'm assuming were you guys bummed out about it back then too, or
No.
it was kind of the first recording experience. You guys were like hyped with.
We were pretty happy. We were pretty happy.
Yeah, we were just happy to get something out there.
Yeah, we were really happy to hear like what we sounded like on a record.
I mean, dude, 14 years old. It's fairly rare we have like a band full of 14-year-olds like put out a record at all, you know. So it is something to know, you know.
Yeah, there's some bands I found out. There's a lot of like, I know Luca knows this. There's a lot of like 90s death metal bands that like a lot of them were like they're like 16 and 17, and I always think that was like super crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
a lot of. I think even more now. Almost, it's kind of crazy now with like.
That's a separate topic.
Yeah,
but there's a like the scene now, like in general with like heavy music. I think it's like the younger kids are like taking over again. It's like actually so cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. I mean, like the screamo scene is like full of them too.
Well, we're gonna have to get into that later. I've got some questions about just like the Southern Florida scene in general, but that's kind of what seems is happening over there specifically too. Right? A lot of the youth doing a lot of really cool shit. That's all very nostalgic, right? A lot of very bands that are like reminiscent of like you said, like screamo and even the whole deathcore thing, you know,
absolutely.
Deathcore is still around, but the sound that a lot of these bands are going for is the old school deathcore sound, which I think is really cool. So what about the album after that? It Dwells Within, the demo.
Yeah, It Dwells Within was, I mean, I think we had already started writing for it. That was like a year of us writing some songs. And I mean, at that point we were just like a death metal band. We had these like random melodic parts. It was pretty
melodic.
Yeah, it was like super melodic. Yeah, it was
kind of a more old school sounding death metal.
Yes, absolutely. That's what like I would say like all of us are like mainly inspired by for this project. That's what it's always been. And then later we got into like core stuff, but It Dwells Within. I think it was like 8 songs. That was the first full length we did. And I mean, I don't think it was too bad. It was just like we were young. Oh my god! I know it's fine. I know he was gonna say. He said it has breakdowns. It did have breakdowns. It did have some like really bad breakdowns.
Yeah,
but it wasn't horrible. Arcane was really bad.
It was definitely a big step up from Arcane.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the important part, you know, to go from, you know, just.
I mean, from what I can tell too, I mean, just going through comments and stuff like that, like when you guys kind of announced that you guys were taking it off streaming platforms and stuff, I guess at that point people were into the band for that music, right? Like, so I think there were a lot of comments like, hey, like, why are you guys taking it off? It was super cool, right? Like, I think it ultimately did resonate with people, even though maybe for you guys, you thought you guys were wanting to take it a different direction, but it definitely resonated with some people and garnered some sort of a fan base at least, right?
Yeah. I think, I know what comments you're talking about because I think I read them. Yeah, I mean, we had a fan base. We were playing local shows. We weren't getting booked by anyone. So we kind of started booking our own stuff, and we booked this one show that had like a bunch of people at it. I don't know how we did that. It was like 400 people. I don't know how. It was crazy.
Jesus Christ. All right.
But yeah, we were just playing like local shows, and we got some buzz like around the local scene. And like at that point, I don't think we were playing the deathcore stuff yet, right, Lucas?
When we started playing shows?
No, like when we started playing the deathcore stuff, was It Dwells Within still up? Because I think the first time we played anything,
we started writing it was up.
Yeah.
From what I could see, like online, you guys hadn't released, because you guys released a single before dropping the album afterwards, and you guys took the music off before the single came out. From what I could see, it was kind of like in preparation of what was to come. It was like, hey, we're gonna take this off for now, but I think it was followed up pretty shortly afterwards with the single. I don't know how much time was between the single and the album afterwards.
I think it was pretty close
short
after.
Time between the two. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was kind of curious about like you're talking about that show. Like, do you remember how it was like in terms of like how people were reacting, fans and stuff like that? Like, did
honestly
you
like we had a Luca. I'm talking about the like that one onstage show we did.
Oh, the January one.
The one with that was like
The one that we had
packed.
implosive.
Yeah, no, that was a different show. I can't believe we got implosive Discord just to play that. That's crazy. Yeah, no, that show was like super packed. I don't know,
awesome.
and people did really like us. I'm always like really self conscious about what I make. But like looking back, like people definitely liked it a lot, like a lot more than like I expected to.
Were you guys kind of nervous going up to a show like that, like in front of 400 people? Was the first time you guys were like going up to like a bigger crowd like that kind of thing? Yeah,
definitely.
It's kind of like one of those things. It's like you're hyped on one end, but you're also like shitting your pants.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
Once we all play, well, like once you play that first note, you just kind of lock in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like
you get lost in it for sure. The adrenaline kicks in, and it's just like kind of forget you forget you're even there.
Yeah, that was an interesting time. That venue, we did a couple shows there, and it was like a thing for a little bit. It was a lot of like younger people, since it was people that like we knew mutually through like high school friends. So I'd say when we actually started kind of getting like into the scene is when, also shout out Jeff and Toby from Equinox Booking. They put us on a For Your Health show to open, and that's when it started getting like more legitimate for us. That was in June, sometime in. You guys remember?
I don't remember. It was 2022 though, right?
I think it was
March 2022.
2022, I think.
Oh, June, something like that.
Sure. Around the time you guys were doing all this stuff with the single, with Venerate the Disease and all that stuff, kind of was all around that summer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You did do your homework. Like I can tell. Like I can. You know.
He's got the timeline.
I try. Okay. So realistically though, it's kind of funny. I've got to start looking other places because everything is kind of tying together now. I mean, this is the ninth episode we're doing of this. We do these weekly, but we've only been doing like actual like interviews and stuff for the past like 9 weeks or whatever. And we've been having a lot of Florida bands, South Florida bands specifically. So it kind of all ties in together. Like we had Simon from Tracheotomy the other day, on here, and he was talking about their CD release show.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that like pretty soon.
Oh my god!
And we're talking about like big
show.
shows and stuff, and when we asked him, he was saying like that was one of the crazier shows for him.
Yes.
So I'm curious for you guys, like
no, it was pretty crazy for one specific reason, but I'm gonna get to that in a second.
Okay,
I don't think he knows. If he knew, that would be pretty cool.
I don't know. That's all I know. That's all I know. But
okay, first of all, the For Your Health show, that was the first like full circle moment we had. We used to listen to this For Your Health Shin Guard split. Rest in peace, Shin Guard. That band was amazing. So we used to listen to that shit like religiously. Like I remember like us listening to it for the first time. We used to like send each other music, and like when we were in high school, like we would do our homework and like listen to music and like text each other about it. Yeah. I remember we would do that all the time. And I remember us like hearing it and being like, this is like unbelievable. That was like a moment where I was like, holy shit with music. But that was our like first full circle moment with the show.
Sure.
So I just wanted to mention that was pretty cool.
No, that's cool. Like playing a show is like a band that that you look up to and that you're excited.
Yeah, the full circle moments always
then,
like
actually playing with them is super cool.
Yeah, the full circle moments are always the best.
There's like extra meaning to it than just like there were a lot of people.
Yes,
or,
absolutely.
Like, some goofy shit happened or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Also, really quick before you tell them about the Drake show. Shout out to that Veil of Maya record you have. That album is so good.
Where? Oh, true.
Common Man's Collapse.
Common Man's Collapse.
Oh my god. Are we?
Yeah.
I think. Oh, actually,
I'm talking about yours.
No one sees it. I guess it's, but they see the wide camera.
Yeah, I was like, can they see
in
that?
the chat?
Because
Yeah.
from my point of view, we only see Chelsea
Yeah,
Green.
like on the stream, it's like super.
The Parkway record and the Velmike record. And the Chelsea Green EP, absolutely.
Thanks. Yeah, you're kind of seeing all my world.
You're revealing more of the frame for the people watching. Yeah,
yeah, like it's very important for me. Like that's where I'm coming from. Like the Chelsea Green EP, I don't even know how many times I've listened to that freaking album.
Same.
Suicide
Same.
Silence, like Parkway Drive, like that's super underrated. Like the blues, man, it's like the breakdowns. And
speaking of Parkway Drive, shout out Memento from Orlando. They did a really awesome cover of it a few times. We're lucky we got to see it. They did Romance is Dead like a few times. That's
sick.
Awesome.
That's one of the good ones, yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking, and to me, like the Born of Osiris, Val of Maya, Sumerian kind of era was super important. Like to
I agree.
You know, like when first time I heard that, I was like in shock. Like, what is even that? It was so different and cool. So, you know, when I started my YouTube channel, in which I'm doing like, I don't know if you know, but I'm doing like documentaries about those bands. I was like, my goal was to be like, if someone like me find a channel and see those bands, they're going to be like, oh, okay, we come from the same place. So
yes, absolutely.
There you go. Like the EP of Chelsea Green is at two. Like I love this EP so much. It's at two place, like different spots.
You've got it twice on the wall.
Yeah, twice on the wall.
That's amazing.
I have like a 4 times bigger than this one, like directly when you enter my place. And the Chelsea Green guitar player saw that on Instagram in one of my stories and came, to DM me. I was like,
"Oh, that's awesome!"
Going on? Yeah, I was like, he said like, "Wow, this and he was talking to me about the EP, and I'm like, I don't think you understand, how influential and impactful this EP was."
Yeah.
So yeah, no, but at first, sorry, I was very confused. You mentioned Val of Maya, and I'm like, I don't know.
How does he know?
Yeah,
that was one of the best like core albums.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, super good. And
Arse Fire. I got both the albums on vinyl that you have right now.
I mean, this when I discovered, like for me, it was also another, like it was later, obviously, but like discovering
Luca could not believe it either.
Dude,
Luca couldn't believe it. I will never forget how much. Like, what was that record called? What was that record called?
What's
Which
up?
one?
The one that Luca liked. Luca, what was that record
Ruthless
called?
Mutation.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
bro.
I mean,
When I remember when Luca heard that, he would not shut up about it. It was like unbelievable.
I couldn't shout up about that album when it came out, but I had listened to them prior to that album and couldn't get into it. They put out like a 3-song kind of like demo like early on with Deathless Ringing on it, which I think is a phenomenal song, but I couldn't get into anything else after that. I was always kind of disappointed. I was like, I want to like this band, but I just something about it doesn't do it for me. But Relentless Mutation and then the latest album, like both
The one after that was also crazy.
So fucking insane. They hit that rare spot for a tech death band where they do super techie. It's like the techiest fucking shit out there, but it's also super memorable. They do like choruses, but they're like tech death choruses.
Yes.
It's not just like guitar wanking to just be a good guitarist or in a fast drum
I
or
hate
whatever.
that. I hate that shit.
Yeah, I have a hard time with that like general style when it's too like, the super long songs and just shreddage of guitar, and sure drums can go fast, but if it's not intricate, if there's no like intricacies to it, I get kind of bored of it super fast.
it's just uninteresting.
All the right things.
I don't even understand how it's doable, like how they do it.
Yeah.
Like I'm listening to it and I'm like, okay, I'm learning this was possible to do like vocals patterns like that.
Yeah, he does some crazy shit.
I didn't even know it was possible, but they also made it like, I don't know how to explain, but like catchy, like it's fun to listen to.
Yeah, it's catchy. It's a memorable song.
Yeah, because most of those bands usually, in my opinion, sounds very chaotic and just like all over the place, but they make like it's very structured.
They have groove. They have groove.
Groove.
The
Groove's
groove is
groove's the right
important.
word. Definitely.
Groove is
Like,
important.
you can bob your head to it, even though it's fucking tech death, you know?
I want to see them live, man, so bad. Like
They're
They
so
were very
good
Luca-
live.
good.
They're
Luca
so
got to see
good
them.
live. That was the most surprising part. I was like, they're flawless live. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, yeah.
So, anyways,
Oh, yeah, we got super off topic.
no, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I knew this was gonna happen.
They got me
This
started.
is what we do here. That's very on brand for the podcast. Don't worry about it.
Also, real quick, shout out everyone in the chat that's from Florida. I see a lot of you.
Yeah. Hell
Shout
yeah.
out
We have
Mike,
a lot
Gutter
of,
Snipe.
A lot of first time chatters in here, so I'm sure they're here for you guys.
Yep.
Yeah, anyways, though, with the Tracheotomy release show, that was like, I would say our first like actually like bigger show. There was I think there was like 450 people there that night. It was crazy.
We opened and there was like that's what opening. That was still one of our biggest crowds we've ever played to.
Yeah, it was already packed. I couldn't believe it. Shows were never like that.
Which is crazy for a local show too, right? Like
that was a turning point for local shows.
Because I don't know if you guys, because it's always weird, I guess, for people who are used to that sort of local show. Like if all your local shows are like that, maybe the perspective is kind of skewed. But like 450 people at a local band show, and like Tracheotomy is a great fucking band, but they're not.
Yes.
They're not Suicide Silence either. You know,
no,
like
exactly.
They're not one of these super fucking big bands. So 450 people to a CD release for an all local show. That's pretty fucking nuts.
Yeah,
this
I heard
was
the scene over there. It's like it's special and it's different. Like
it's definitely special.
Support and people.
We're definitely lucky to be a part of it.
That's awesome
for sure. But yeah, no, that show was definitely really important. I was gonna say something.
And that was at O'Malley's, Rip O'Malley's.
Rip O'Malley's. True. Yeah. Oh yeah. So we opened, and the second band went on and whatever, and like me and Luca were like stage diving. And I stage dove, and then like this like huge dude just like fell on my leg, and he broke my leg. And that was the second band. And I still, I wish like I could show you right now, but like my leg is like scarred up. It's horrible. Like I'm being dead ass. Like I have like, I have like incisions like everywhere. I had,
how did he break it? Like
dude, just the weight.
The weight like onto the floor?
Yes.
It was a big dude.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm multiple bones in your leg too, right?
Yes, I broke my tibia and my fibula. If you guys know anything about like,
feels so bad,
Christ.
man.
I dude, there was so much going on. It just like felt like something. It just felt like.
Oh yeah, you don't.
It felt like something close
almost.
to me.
Yeah.
I just felt like I felt like the I don't know how to explain it. I didn't feel the pain. I just felt like something snapped.
That's it.
There was too much going on.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't get up.
Adrenaline kicks in too. Like your body is like meant to like make it so you don't feel when it's like over a certain pain threshold, your body just kind of like shuts off from pain. But it's always like weird. You're like, I know something's not right, but
I couldn't get up. And then, like I went to the emergency room that night. I didn't even see the rest of the show.
Shit.
That sucks though, honestly. Like
Bro.
Second band and like it's not like if that would like it still sucks, but at least if it would happen like towards the end of like the headliner.
Towards the end.
I was getting dragged out of the venue when Tactosa was playing.
Oh, no.
They were playing. I think they were playing Augerden, and they were playing the riff, and then like I was getting carried out on the couch,
And you were on a soap like
yes.
Oh,
No,
clawing back.
but yeah, no, that's the thing that happened at that show. But the lineup was it was Mantikore,
stacked as fuck lineup,
Existence Has Failed, Tactosa, Tracheotomy, and Children of the Flesh. That was a fun
old
show.
Cool lineup too, like a cool like.
It was a cool lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
awesome.
I was gonna mention this earlier. That was like the first, like I said, that was like a bit of a turning point. I know Jeff has talked about this online a lot. There was kind of like a how do I say, like the scene wasn't as active for a little bit during COVID. That show and like around that time was definitely like a turning point when the Equinox booking shows started getting more consistent. Like.
He's always putting out shows. Like he's got shows going on every
First
week.
it was like every few months, and then it was like like
March has
like
8 shows booked,
around.
Equinox.
Yeah, March has 8 shows, and it's all him.
Jesus
Like
Christ.
Yeah, Equinox have been like
Jeff,
carrying.
I'm
the
telling
scene
you,
down here.
Jeff, like
It's mostly
they care
local
about it.
too, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's all
I-
local.
Yeah. Because if there's it only works if there's an appetite for it, though, right? Because
Yes.
like 8 shows in
Yes.
March sounds cool, but
No, but
if
do people
are
pull
getting
up?
burnt out and have to choose between different shows and stuff like that, that can be kind of like a
Yeah, but
double-edged sword.
absolutely.
But that's not what I'm seeing from Florida.
Yeah, I think what's happening is kind of like it's this. I wouldn't say full circle, but I mean like everybody's hype with this dude, and in return they go to the shows and like they probably you know they put him first, and it's like it's. I
A
feel
lot of
like
cool
it's,
bands though. Like if you know,
yeah.
ultimately it's a lot of shows, but it's a whole lot of really cool ass music being played.
Yeah, also, but like I'm not over there, but I feel like as a fan, if I like they probably feel like they want to support, you know, they want to give back, like they know that this guy is like, you know,
There's a lot of
carrying
new
the scene.
people that are like,
Yeah.
we were post COVID, like we were, and there's a whole scene like before COVID from like even 2014 to like 20.
It even
like,
goes before that.
Yeah, but there's like
And,
that
like,
metalcore
yeah.
revival in like 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
That was like before our time. Like
Quick
we
side
came-
note about that time is that we wanted to start playing shows around then when we wrote Arcane.
Oh my god, bro.
And COVID is what
Insane.
stopped us from playing
Yeah.
those shows.
Yeah.
So luckily, no one was able to
COVID
hear that
saved
stuff
us.
live.
Yeah.
No live recordings for you
Nah,
guys.
dude,
You
it
guys
would
got
have been so
lucky.
bad.
Yeah.
Maybe it would have been better live. I mean,
Nah.
No, I don't think
But
so,
hey,
bro.
but you
There's
guys
no
are saying
defending
that-
it.
This is
I
like
tried.
you guys saying this now though, but I'm sure you guys were bummed the fuck
Oh,
out to
we
not be
were
able to
so
play shows.
excited.
during
We were.
COVID, you know, like
We wanted to play so
Yes.
bad.
Yes.
yeah.
yeah,
It must
Um,
suck, like as a starting band, being like, okay, we can all like finally play shows, and then
Yeah.
I guess not.
Yeah.
but
That was a huge
Florida,
bummer.
Florida went back to normal pretty
Yeah,
quick.
quicker.
You guys
Yeah.
were luckier in that sense than a lot of
Oh
other
yeah,
places.
absolutely.
In the,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't think
the
you guys
shows.
had as many, you know, measures and stuff like it feels like over there, at least compared to us here in Canada, it seemed
Yeah.
more, you know, shows were going
Yeah.
on and stuff like that, as opposed to here, it took so long. So at least you had that. But yeah, it sucked, the COVID thing, but at the same time, the comeback was so cool. Like I remember like the first big stack lineup was like Lorna and Jested, like Off Sulfur, Aborted, all those bands. And it sold out, I think, because in Montreal, like, you know, it takes, not every band comes here and stuff like that. It sold out in like 10 minutes and it was
Damn.
freaking packed. So it's like, at the same time,
it's been like that since.
yep,
To
it's
be,
always
to be
sold out
frank,
here.
like
Yeah.
everything kind of just sells
Damn.
out.
Yeah, I tried even in other like more metalcore. Like I don't know if you know, probably the guys in like Or Last Night and stuff like that. Like whatever, like they're coming here and it was sold out. Like Montreal, you look at their dates and Montreal was one of the first one. Every time there's something here, people are like tripping. But yeah, it's one of those things. Like since we lost going to shows and stuff like that, like now it seems like everybody's appreciating so much more,
Yeah.
and it's so
Yeah.
that's pretty cool in that, you know.
Yeah.
from that
Yeah, I mean,
Probably kind of
Equinox.
different for you guys though, given that it's more of a newer crowd though, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's been consistent people that have been going since like the time you mentioned before. Like obviously Jeff has been booking since like before then too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean like all the shows, it's like it's all it's Equinox. Like he does it all. Jeff and Toby do it all.
The heart,
It's,
the
it's,
Florida
it's
heart
amazing.
carry.
Like he would be like I'm just thinking out loud, but he would be interesting as a guest for sure to like
Oh yeah,
to,
definitely.
to
Oh,
hear
absolutely.
this guy like perspective, and he probably has like 50,000 different stories, you know.
Yeah, absolutely,
and-
He's
absolutely.
in bands too.
yeah.
Oh, that's
Well,
cool.
I'm in a band
He's in
with
Fallen God, right?
Yeah, I'm in a band with Jeff called Fallen
Yeah,
God.
that's it.
God.
Yeah.
Awesome. No, it's definitely, because people from, you know, most people don't know that, but like there's so many important people, you know, from outside, like trying to support and doing all those things. And it's a big, like these people are game changer in the scene also. And it's important for people sometimes to like just acknowledge that and see that it's more,
Yeah, absolutely.
there's more to it. So.
Yeah.
I was thinking you were talking about your show there, and I can only imagine. Like, I don't want to get ahead. I know Dom is probably prepared to ask questions later on, but your last show, I'm guessing the ambience is going to be freaking insane. Like the
I hope so.
It's crazy,
dude, for sure. I can only imagine.
It was pretty I think it was pretty cool to see all the people that were upset that we were breaking up. I don't know, it's just nice that the music we wrote.
You're suckers.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
A lot of people we've never seen before, that we don't know, have commenting that on that post, and it was kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, we've just gotten a lot of support, especially considering that we're one of the younger bands. We've been the they called us the Mantikores, bro, for so long. All of our we've been the jits in the scene, so it's just nice to have a lot of support from people that are older than us, because people get jaded, so it's just nice that we're surrounded by a lot of supportive people that are older than us, and we get a lot of support from kids younger than us and also our age, so it's really nice.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Yeah,
because you don't always as a band, I feel like you don't always see it, all of it. You're doing your thing and then you keep going. But when you announce something as big as that, that's when you kind of realize you're oh my God, okay, we had more impact than I thought. So.
Also, I'm gonna run to the bathroom. Give me 2 seconds, but
yeah, you're
no
good,
problem,
man. You're good.
Dude. That's kind of the vibe here. I drink 50 coffees and teas, so I'm always moving around. Yeah, Dom, I'm gonna let you probably have other questions before I.
Yeah, no, sure. But I mean, I guess we could kind of get into Venerate the Disease and that
was
release.
That was a big change for us.
Yeah, big shift.
You guys went with you guys recorded with Nick, right?
Yes, I was all recorded there.
Yeah, and then you guys mix mastered with at Swamp Sound?
Yeah, Venerate was with Swamp Sounds, but it was all done at Nick's. And funny enough, when we started recording at Nick's, we were gonna re-record one of the songs on Arcane, before Venerate the Disease was put together. So thank God that never ended up halpening.
I found it on my phone the other day, but
That's great.
Yeah.
Did you guys actually record it?
Yeah,
it's
we did.
half.
Yeah, we started recording it.
No, we
okay.
I have it.
Yeah, but no, you
just
don't,
didn't
bro.
put
No, you
that on
don't.
the actual album.
No.
When you recorded there, how big of a step did it feels from going from before and then did you guys feel okay, we're about to do to embark
from going to a nicer studio?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just
absolutely.
but also musically, you guys
everything. Yeah.
That's when the
we talked about you guys. Yeah, that's really where the deathcore kind of influence kind of came in and taking the other music offline and stuff like that. I feel but I'd like to hear from you guys how that step felt and maybe how you guys were thinking about it or
going to the deathcore stuff.
Yeah, getting into the deathcore stuff at a bigger studio.
So,
stuff like
same
that.
thing I was asking, except it was way better explained.
So I mean, when we met, or not when we met, but when we were first starting writing music, all the musical stuff that we all listened to was I think. It's safe to say that the record that we all really agreed on was None So Wild by Cryptopsy. I think that was our shared interest for our first time meeting. Yeah. And I still listen to that constantly.
I mean, goated album.
Yes,
I mean, they're from here, so
good.
represent.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Also,
yes. But then
I gotta add something.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay. Obviously, we love every genre. We love core now. But when I was horrible back when we started the band. I only listened to thrash metal, death metal, and some black metal and stuff.
And I
was
used to
no karate in the pit, no breakdowns.
So it was bad. And at the time, because we all agreed on all this death metal stuff and all that, but I was really into Bring Me the Horizon. I was listening to Suicide Season a lot.
Sure.
And Luca was bro, you need to stop listening to he was literally Gabe, how can you listen to this? It's literally horrible. But then like we kind of eased into like the more like core stuff. Once Lucas started to like enjoy it more. And then
can I ask, sorry,
I mean,
I don't want to interrupt, but like what
No, go ahead.
What kind of changed your mind about that? Like which band, I guess, or which song that you were like, breakdown can be kind of cool in the end? Like
That's a question for Luca.
Yeah.
It's weird because there was breakdowns on Arcane. I was like just a confused person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also a lot of the music that we had already listened to, even though it wasn't anything like core related, it still had breakdowns. Like there's a lot of songs we listened to with breakdowns.
For sure.
Like before that.
I mean, there's,
Like, even
there's breakdowns
Cryptopsy.
that aren't just like, there's a lot of death metal has that sort of
Yes.
formula, right? Where it slows down, where it's a mid-tempo kind of beat or like even straight up kind of like breakdowns, but it's just not, people don't refer it
It's like
as that because it's not deathcore, but ultimately pretty
Yeah, but
similar.
I
We see
feel
it on Arcspire actually.
The difference
like-
is just
true.
like deathcore and metalcore kind of was like you mentioned, Bring Me the Horizon, and the best example I have in mind is that in Prefer Plague, it's so theatrical, like the build up and like the breakdown was like you could tell that deathcore and metalcore, like it was like the best part was the breakdown, as opposed to like death metal songs that they have like a little breakdown in it, but it's more of a tying up like the end, or more like a
Not a focus,
bridge or whatever. But like in deathcore metalcore, everybody was basically waiting for that. Like you're listening to, I remember being in my car and knowing all the breakdowns and skipping everything just to hear all my favorite breakdowns in my car.
I mean,
when-
those like YouTube
it's
top
funny,
10
yeah.
breakdowns type
Yes,
thing.
sir.
when we were specifically writing the intro to Venerate the Disease, I recall us just saying, how can we write the stupidest thing possible? and that's like probably one of our best songs. And we were just like, how can we write the stupidest thing possible and have it like be stupid heavy?
That's the funniest thing about writing music. Like the people are connecting with the things that you made pretty quickly, and you were just like, let's try something, or let's be over the top on this part, and everybody's connecting with that. And the other song that you spend so much time thinking, okay, this is our masterpiece, people, they like it, but they're just like, okay, so that's pretty interesting.
But yeah, I mean, like that change, like I'm pretty sure Luke was gonna say like Cryptopsy has breakdowns, Suffocation has breakdowns, like a lot of them have breakdowns.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, he ended up easing into it, and then we wrote Venerate the Disease, and like in the span of like a year or something, I would say. And then I mean, that was like when we were like locked in with the band.
When you were in the studio, like obviously the person you're recording with always makes a difference, right? Like I'm just curious to know.
Yes,
if
absolutely.
It was a big game changer for you, like his input and how you work with him. Like,
yes.
I'm just curious about
Yeah, I
Recording with
mean, Nick is one of our good friends. Yeah, Nick is one of our good friends. He's still one of our great friends. Recording with him was great. He like made sure that like we get our takes tight. If you're in Florida, definitely go record with him. He makes sure, like he made sure we got our takes tight. Like he would make us re-record it like over and over and over again. Yeah, Luca, you're good.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
Did you have a lot of challenging parts that you were like, I felt like it was tight, but okay, I'm gonna redo it again. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. No, his input was great.
Awesome.
Like I said, if you're in Florida, definitely go record with him.
There he comes into the chat.
Oh, look, there he is in the chat.
Is he here?
Speak of the
really
devil.
quick.
Nick!
Shout out,
Shout out
Nick.
Crypt Studios.
Shout out Nick Corsillo, bro. The Crypt.
Bro,
I feel
gotta be
like
tight at tracking.
I'm like jealous right now of Florida. It seems like such an awesome, place with, full of very passionate people. I joined right on time. Yeah, you did, because we were just
talking about the Crypt.
Yeah, about the
Because how we
influence you
recorded
had
Venerate
and-
there. Yeah. But yeah, we were talking about the death metal shit. You were saying something.
Yeah, well, I think. Oh, right. So I think like there because you guys had more of a death metal influence to start with, but you still hear the death metal influence in Venerate, right? And
Yes.
it's got the deathcore added to it, but to me, there's always that connection with the older sounding deathcore sounded like that. It was death metal with core added to it, right?
That's
Yeah.
icon kind of.
Sure, and
I mean, there's bands before that too.
Yeah,
Exactly,
like Dying
yeah.
Shout out
Fetus,
Deformity.
Dying,
That's a great
Deformity
example.
as well.
Vomit
it's
Forth
like-
is a huge influence.
Yes, Vomit Forth as well. Well, that's a newer band, but yeah.
Yeah, but I think there's a resurgence of that sort of deathcore
Yes.
sound, like death metal deathcore, which I find is super cool because right now with this kind of like old school deathcore revival thing, we're seeing a lot of these things, even having like a lot of slam influence in deathcore, the more death metal focused deathcore, a lot of these things that we used to see when deathcore started.
It's a lot of like proto deathcore stuff.
Yeah,
like
but
Killing
now
on
we-
Adrenaline by Dying Fetus is like
yeah.
basically deathcore. The stuff after like Embodiment's first record.
So it's
Dying Fetus is basically deathcore. They're like
Dying Fetus is basically
they're like
deathcore.
this.
close, very close. But like, and I think it's fair to say they basically influenced all deathcore, like all know, whatever, like Elysia, everybody that started
all
like
those,
this.
all those starting deathcore bands didn't have other deathcore bands to base themselves off of. It was off of death metal and hardcore, you know?
Yeah.
Wouldn't be like, I think it would be a fair statement to say that we're going back to the origin, basically, is what we're doing with.
I mean, it's cool because like there's a lot of bands doing it. Like Mantikore obviously takes an inspiration from that. A lot of South Florida bands, Ephemeral, shout out Ephemeral. Luca, Cemetery Shade. Yeah, he's wearing the Ephemeral shirt right now.
About death metal. I thought we're talking about like deathcore. Those bands are very, very awesome.
Well, I'm talking about bands bringing back like that style.
Yeah, Nick said
Like
hyphen
the old
core.
school style.
Respect
The
the
hyphen
hyphen.
core. Yeah, we call it the hyphen core.
There's Erode from Baltimore and Morbid Deity.
Erode.
Those bands are
True.
also like that old
I
style
said Cemetery Shade as well.
for death metal. They're sick.
There's more that I can't really think about right now, but like there's definitely a resurgence of it, which is awesome.
No, it's cool. But
Infidel X when Infidel comes out.
But it kind of ties into what you guys ended up doing, I think, with Venerate, right? Like it kind of, to me, makes sense, right? Like you guys were bringing some core elements, but you guys still had the death metal and more melodic side to it.
We've always
kinda
had like
stuck
a
through,
melodic.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
On
melodic.
everything we've released, there's at least one melodic like thing on it for some reason.
We all love melodic death metal.
The melodic death metal has been a consistent genre for like the three of us, like for years. Very special genre for the three of us, I would say.
I love. I have to point it out because Yan and I are just the biggest fans of the ping snare. Because
I was about to ask
which is
quickly,
fairly prominent. You know,
I was waiting for that.
Yeah. Shout out Burke, Anthony Burke. Anthony Burke, my goat. Anthony Burke is he's a like big name in South Florida. You guys know like Magnitude.
Not even South Florida. He's a big name.
I mean,
period.
yeah. He plays in Magnitude.
Envision.
Envision.
Magnitude, Envision, Seed of Pain, Charnel Grounds. He played in A Needle Under the Nail. XLGX.
Sure. So he's all over the place.
He's played in so.
Yes.
I know I'm leaving out like so many.
I'm also doing a band with him this year. That's going to be pretty active. Yeah. But I mean, like the point is he's been in a lot of bands, and so shout out him. He's the one that mixed it. He got the snare sound.
That's it.
Yeah, he got it.
You got to crank I use like a 13-inch snare, so it's a little bit smaller than the regular. You just have to crank the top and then keep the bottom head like finger tight, and you get that like ping. That's
it's such a big difference. Like we keep talking about like Psycho Frame and those bands with like this kind of snare. The impact is like completely different. Like it has more.
Again,
groove.
another one of those things that we used to have all the time in some of the older deathcore stuff because it came more from slam and like brutal death and stuff like that. And now we see it kind of coming back, being introduced into all these like new wave bands. And it's just, I don't know. To me, it's refreshing.
It's just like it's abrasive. It's very heavy.
Well,
like that's why we did the really loud 808. That's why we did the 808s too. Because like I said, we were trying to write like this really stupid shit. Like Luca wasn't here.
808s used to be like in everything.
Yeah.
And we lost that.
That's
Like
how
it's
it
not
should be.
really a thing anymore, you know?
Yeah. Like the Jerome EP. The bass
Exactly.
drops in the Jerome
My
EP.
God, yeah. Like, oh my God, yeah, Jerome. I just want to say, I don't know if you guys knew, but like they're talking to each other to do some music again. So that's pretty
What?
cool. Yeah, that's
Wait,
pretty
when did you
cool.
hear this?
But
Recently, the last few.
I'm literally, I did a video about Jerome on my channel as a documentary because I was
Oh,
talking
that's
with
cool.
their guitar player and
Yeah, Nick is like, yo.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
I don't want to like ruin their news, but like he's been open about it and he's like the guitar
Yeah,
player.
it must be public. So
Yeah, and he's because at first when he told me that, I'm like, I'm guessing I can't tell, and he's like, well, not really, but
they put something up like a couple days later, like it was like 2024 Jerome.
Oh, they announced
he
it, I
told
guess.
me, like the news that I have, because I'm talking. I don't know if you guys knew, but like the guitar player Ben and Jerome was also in the band called Monsters.
That's
which
what
was,
Nick just mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And Monsters was say I'm also gonna do a video about Monsters, which I'm super stoked about. But like, Jerome was a big thing for me, and I was like, there's no way I'm gonna document deathcore in my channel without talking about Jerome. It's impossible. So I was kind of hoping. So I did a review of the EP, hoping that one of the members would maybe see it, and that's what happened. So
That's awesome.
As we were talking, he's talking with the vocalist Buzz, and they really want to bring it back. And apparently they
that's
have
some good news.
Yes, that's
crazy.
That's sick.
And they have a
It's
lineup.
it's a good year for deathcore.
Absolutely.
They have a lineup, and the advice I gave to him is like, it would be cool if you just drop a freaking picture of your new lineup, and it's just written Jerome 2024, just that, and people are gonna like turn crazy. Like I feel like it's one of those things.
Alicia's coming back too.
I know,
Yeah,
man.
that's
really-
All Shall
yeah.
Perish too, dude. We're
All
That's
Shall
pretty
Perish is
crazy.
coming back.
yeah. They just announced today they're
that's
doing
awesome.
a show. They're doing a show. I don't know if that means anything else, but they're at least doing a show.
Dude, it's
A lot of MySpace bands are coming back. Even
Yes,
Waking the
sir.
Cadaver first show in like how long?
My God, do you want to talk about Waking the Cadaver? Like the only reasons why it's not on my freaking wall is that I couldn't find like the
they're
proper-
rare.
But honestly, this first of all, this vocalist, and it was a question that I had for you guys, because when I heard your stuff, one of the first vibe that I have in your groove, I was thinking there's no way they don't like Waking the Cadaver at least a little bit.
That's cool. Yeah,
So
we like Waking the Cadaver.
We like them. I don't think that they influence like anything.
I don't think they influenced the record.
oh, maybe I
No.
just got, since it was like groovy, the snare like kind of
Yeah.
slammy, it kind of reminded me of it. But
The
I was
slam?
just wondering.
We definitely like for the promo that we just released. There is definitely a slam influence on it. Like it's more than just
It's pretty obvious. Yeah.
There's even local bands like Implosive Disgorgons. Like
Them coming
After-
back. That blew my
Yeah.
fucking mind. I was like,
Did you-
wait, well, I haven't
did
seen
you
this
guys
logo
know-
in
did you guys know about them?
forever. Yeah, well,
You guys knew about
I
them
used to
before?
listen to
That's
them
awesome.
back in the day, and
Oh,
they
that's
came
so
out
cool.
with War Crimes. I was like, wait, what?
being
No, it's good. It's really good.
It's really fucking good.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah,
I
they were
didn't, I
so
didn't get a
tight
good listen
live.
to the split, but the EP they put out is fucking great.
Yeah, the EP's good.
seeing bands like I'm pretty sure after we played with them, like seeing bands like that heavy and like that, like
Oh my
tight, or like,
God.
dude, like what are we doing, bro? Like we need to
Yeah,
write
I
like
remember
better stuff.
because when we started, we were still in the It Dwells Within days, and we played a show with Implosive Disgorgons. Like we asked them to play, and they said yes, and we booked them. we
were
paid them and
shocked.
everything.
Yeah,
Yes, we were
yeah.
shocked, and we played with them. I don't know, like in there, bro. We heard chapter 2, bro. I mean chapter 1.
After
Bro,
one,
it's-
bro, the breakdown and chat. Oh my
The
god,
chapter
bro.
1 breakdown,
Yeah,
bro. Oh,
so good.
Some goated
Yes.
shit, man.
Yeah,
yeah, it is good as shit.
Someone in the chat is saying like we're living in the happiest timeline of deathcore. I can agree with that, because if you remember back in the days, you would just tell someone you like deathcore and stuff like that, and people would like, say it's correct. Like it was hate a lot, and all the reviews online, like you would
Yeah.
see, like as I'm making my videos, I'm going through the reviews, and I'm telling you, like everything was negative almost, like because they were made by death metal people, right? So they would hear these core bands, and they would be like, what the hell is that? As opposed to right now, where it's like, it's it's kind
Luca
of
4 years
fully
ago.
recognized.
Well, it's kind of
and-
crazy to see these same bands that didn't get recognition back in the day come back today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's hype
all of the
around them.
bands.
It's like
Yeah.
all of them. It's like,
funny. All of the bands that like our circle is really influenced by are all these like, you know, YouTube 200 views bands. Like,
yeah.
it's really funny. It's really funny.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see
definitely.
all that
It's interesting.
come back.
Yeah, and
Talk about full circle. You know, we were
Yeah.
talking about
Yes.
full circle moments
Yeah.
earlier. You know, like that implosive discordance thing. Like you guys having them on the show and booking them on. Like that's that must have been some sort of like a full circle thing too. You
Yes,
know, I think
it
there's a lot
definitely
of that
was.
going on with that whole scene right now.
Yeah, it definitely was. It definitely was.
I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but like I'm gonna be very curious to know what you guys, you know, because you mentioned you're in other projects and
was
stuff
the
like
show.
that.
It was that
hell
show.
yeah. That's sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was,
But yeah, you're asking about the other bands.
No, I'm just really curious because obviously for you guys, it might be the end of, you know, of this band, but it's not the end as like of you as artists and what you're gonna do next. So I'm gonna be very curious to know what you said. You were kind of stepping away from deathcore and that, so I'm kind of super curious to know what kind of music you're gonna do.
All of the bands that we're currently in, which if you look at the last Instagram post, we have all of our stuff listed. I mean, most of us are in like just a bunch of projects, and all of our projects are going to be active this year. Like I think almost all of them are dropping music, which is awesome. Amnio just came out, which is Luca's band that he wrote. It's amazing. It was my favorite release of last year.
That's crazy, dude. It's
Final
melodic.
Warning.
It's melodic death metal.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Andres also. Sorry. Can I interrupt for just like half a second? Andres isn't here, but shout out to Andres. He's been playing bass with us since the end of 2022. Since the end of 2022.
He's been playing with us for a while.
Yeah. But me and him are in a band called Final Warning that's Beatdown. And then Gabe is in a bunch of bands. I'll let you finish talking now.
So I'll like list everything because it's a lot. So Luca's in a band called Amnio, which is melodic death metal. He's also in a band called Final Warning with Nick. It's beat down, like super slam influence. It's awesome.
I'm gonna like it for sure.
Yeah, and then
we just released a 3-track.
Yeah,
a few days ago.
And then Away with Words is a band I'm in with my friend Jack. We're coming out with music soon. And then Ninth Gate has music out. Ninth Gate's also coming back with music soon. I'm in a band I mentioned with Anthony Burke. We're starting soon. That's going to be just like brutal death metal with like slam and stuff. It's going to be like mosh music still. What else? I'm trying to think. What am I leaving out? Descent is also another hardcore band I'm in.
You guys are busy.
Every band. Yeah.
This is all I do. I just go to work and do music. I'm also in and Fallen God with Jeff. We also have music coming this year. We have a bunch of songs coming out, so definitely look out for that. And I'm in another band called Vivre. It's emo violence. If you like combat wounded veteran.
I'm curious about that one. It doesn't have any. You guys don't have anything out yet, right?
No, we don't. That's if you like combat wounded veteran and like Love Lost but Not Forgotten and Orchid. Just like old emo violence stuff, like really abrasive stuff.
The artwork is definitely up Yan and I's alley so far. So I'm curious to hear what the music is gonna sound like.
Yeah, it's no. We're playing the last Mantikore show, so it's gonna be cool.
Also, the three of us, me, Gabe, and Lucas, we're starting to write a project that is it's do you guys know the band Driven by any chance?
I don't know.
It's this old they're from that Amsterdam 8000 area. It's like metalcore from the 90s, but it's very dark sounding.
Sure.
If you should definitely check it out. But
you should definitely check it out.
Influenced by that.
That was even an influence for Mantikore, I would say, for sure.
Nah.
A bit.
The guitars, bro.
Maybe a little bit.
The angel riff.
Yeah, I mean nothing. It doesn't have to be like 100%. You know, it's just
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, it was an influence for me.
We're all kind of like, we take all that stuff in at the end of the day, right? Even if it doesn't like, we don't have like a
That's
specific
very true.
riff that
Yeah,
sounds
true.
like a certain band or whatever.
I mean, it's just influence from like everything, you know.
yeah.
But
Very true.
yeah, no, we're like Lucas said, we're starting that new band. We already started writing for it. Like we have a song like basically finished, so that's gonna be like super active this year.
Awesome.
I want to
yeah.
tour again this year. That's
Yeah,
like
I don't want to. Yeah, same. I want to go on tour with that band.
Yeah, unfortunately, we never got to tour with Mantikore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was that something you guys were hoping to do, like
Yeah.
while you guys were writing?
I mean,
and
we
stuff like
got we got offers.
that? Sure, nothing
But
that
we
made
never-
sense, or
Yeah, it's just not like we just couldn't do it. We're busy.
yeah.
Unfortunate. It is what it is, though.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of preparation and things to consider as well. You know, like it's,
Yeah, and
Oh, it's huge
And we-
commitment.
like a big part of like stuff like this was like when we were still in high school. Like we're all still in school, like doing shit. I'm
Yeah.
not in school anymore, but I mean,
But
Lucas and
work
Luca.
as well,
yeah.
school, work, other.
I mean,
bands,
we
other
we
stuff.
all work and we all like they're both in school still. Like they're in a semester right now, and like
Yeah.
you know, it's just
It's
it's
a
a
lot of
lot.
stuff to do.
No, for sure. I get it, man. I mean, either way, I mean, you guys are still young. At the end of the day, there's also like when something's gonna make sense, it's gonna make sense. Like it's just one of those things. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
you know, you just keep working on music. You guys seem to be doing it either way for the fun of it and to jam out and write cool
Yeah.
tracks and stuff like that. And then, you know, when something eventually hits, it'll hit. You know.
yeah, absolutely.
and I forgot to ask who did your artwork. Like it's
More to
super-
sustain.
It's awesome, dude. Like it's super. I love like the death metal art style. I don't know how to explain it, but like
The,
it's
It looks old. Like
Yeah.
a big influence for that was like old PS2 horror stuff. Specifically Silent Hill.
The Silent
My
Hill.
God.
Lucas,
that's
Lucas
Silent
had
Hill.
that one.
Yeah.
The soundtrack album art for what was it? Silent
Yeah.
Hill 3?
So it was a Silent Hill 4. It was like the Silent Hill 4 like promo art. We thought was really cool. It looks just like that. Actually.
Awesome. Couldn't be
Yeah.
happier to hear that. Like I'm a big fan of. Like, I have like old consoles here, like the 64
Yeah.
and old school stuff. So like it's awesome. I was just curious.
I have
'cause
like
thought,
Silent Hill shit like up here.
awesome.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Love
always
Silent Hill.
curious to know because like I'm passionate. Like I feel like, and it might sound stupid, but for me, the artwork is such like a big part of
Yes, I agree.
it's.
I agree.
For me, it's game changer. You know, when you release
Yes.
Yeah,
music,
it's
it can,
aesthetics a lot.
can change the whole vibe that someone is getting
Yeah.
and the whole, you know, it's a universe thing.
Yes,
So, like,
absolutely.
I pay a lot of attention to the artwork and who did it and stuff like that. Like I feel there's a lot of value to
Yeah.
that.
More to sustain is also on Fallen God. He plays bass.
Okay. Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Super cool. Yeah, Dom, sorry I kind of cut you off. I don't know if you
No, I mean we're chilling, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be curious just to kind of wrap up. I guess the music you guys wrote. I think you guys. I mean, obviously, you know, you guys are moving on and stuff, but I just had to throw you guys your flowers for the promo. That for me personally, really hit it. I had been aware of you guys, but when the 3-track came out, that was like my jam, like my style of
Really? That's cool.
really kind of the music I grew up on sounded like that. You know, like that's the sort of. I don't know. We have these conversations a lot, I guess, with different people that we have on and stuff. But there's a certain, I don't know how to put it. Like deathcore became serious at a certain point. Like it sounded a certain way, and then all of a sudden, you know, in the mid like 2010s,
It
forward,
was when deathcore was scary. It was like it was menacing.
Scary,
Like
scary,
all
menacing,
like
those are the right
Phil
words.
Bozeman and like Mitch Lucker were like dude, they're like monsters. It's unbelievable. Like if I was at that show, I would be like horrified.
No, for sure.
especially, but like you got to remember the time. Like music is very oversaturated. Like we just talked about this. Like
Mhm.
at the time to see that it had a very serious tone.
Yeah.
But I think there was also a rawness to it though that I think we definitely lost over the years, right? And I think I can speak for Yan as well when I say like that raw energy.
Shout out Caleb in chat.
Isn't really there anymore in deathcore. We're seeing it now with this revival of this sort of style, like whichever way you categorize it or whatever. But and that to me is super exciting. I like seeing that. I see a lot of younger bands doing this style. It's not so much like old heads doing the revival thing. It's a lot of youth.
Slamwich is a good example of that. Sorry, just wanted to
Slamwich.
Yeah. We played with them in June.
That's awesome.
I forget the month, but we played with them recently.
They're super cool, and they're, you know, we had an interview with them, and one of our main question was like, since you're not as old as us, like what is influencing you to do such a raw sound and stuff like, and they explained that even if they were not exactly around for that, that's what they connected the most with, and that's what they want to do, and I think it's. You know, I think it's awesome to see that I wasn't expecting to see younger people getting into what we liked back in like 2004. It's awesome. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
No, I think I don't know. I just think there's maybe a correlation with I don't know. There's the youthfulness and being younger and just trying shit out and just like throwing shit at the wall, seeing what works.
There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of like
and not
real energy that goes into it. Yeah.
Sure. Not going for like the most produced thing in the world and all these things. You know, these certain limitations maybe that people that don't have a fucking 75K a year job can afford to do or whatever, or in these bigger bands that actually they already make money to go in the studio and have
there's a lot of like realness,
stuff, but
there's a lot of like it's very genuine, but it feels like you can tell it's genuine.
Yeah, and I just want to point out, Nick made a super good point. I like keep saying every single day almost. The lack of rawness in writing and energy is what sent deathcore into stagnation. It got neutral. I can't pronounce that word.
Neutered.
And drifted from hardcore. And to me, it was a big problem that hardcore, like we saw this new wave of deathcore coming in with like Lorna and stuff like that. But one of my first thought was, it's cool, but where's the hardcore in it? Because for me, it's not like, it doesn't hit the same. And like I was saying, it's oversaturated. Like all these bands, it's almost like I see a big trend of like, have the heaviest breakdown. Like it's very like, theatrical.
Oh,
It's like internet eye grabbing. It's I hate that shit.
Even
they want their moment. Like they want.
It's like they want their like the moment of internet fame, like from like the like look at this clip of our heaviest breakdown.
Yeah, instead of being like back in the days that it wasn't intentional. Really, it was just like, oh my god, what if we do this crazy? Now it's more like this thing would maybe go viral, so let's do it.
It goes back to what you were saying before, how there was like a serious tone to deathcore for a long time. It's because like. No one was really trying to like do too much, you know? And like you said, the limitations, like even back in the 90s, like they didn't have all this shit. Yeah. They didn't have all the shit that we have now. Like the 90s death metal stuff. Like Luca was telling me this the other day, like there's never going to be another time like that because all the limitations, like
just because
it's a product of its time. It's a product of its time.
Yeah. You have to it's hard now to do a shitty sounding demo, you know, you have to try for it now.
It has to be intentional for sure. But it's two sides, right? It's super cool because back then I would have liked to be, because I tried to record music by myself and like it was horrible in 2007. But like nowadays people can just, they want to start a band, want to do music. They can basically do almost everything by themselves.
It's just like, it's just different times.
Yeah.
But I mean like a lot of that's, you know, but that's what I think about it.
I will say, even if you try to sound bad, it's still not the same. Cause if you're trying, that's still like that's like an imitation. They were trying to sound like, they were trying to sound good.
It's just what they could sound like.
This was relating to like what you said about the youth. The youth is very important. We started when, you know, we were young. We're still very young and we're still like writing other bands and stuff. there's kids in our scene that are younger than us that like I've noticed that like look up to us and like what we wrote, and I find it like it's very heartwarming. And it's just like a constant cycle, you know. Like I think it's very important for like people that have been in the scene for a long time to like open kids like that with like welcome arms and like a music scene, because we were welcomed, and I'm very thankful for it. And we've been active ever since. I try to go.
I
like,
would cry every time there was an 18+ show.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, are there a lot of those in Florida? Is
Not
anymore. Not anymore. Yeah.
Only like
it depends on the show.
The kids they wouldn't be coming out if it weren't.
It depends on the show. I'll say that. But
Nick said the easiest way to sound like shit is to play poorly. That's kind of true.
Not even though, because
that's a different type of sounding like shit, though.
Yeah, that's kind of a requirement to at least play it, you know, properly.
Hey, Nick, we can send you all the sloppy musicians if you want to deal with them with your production.
But just to like wrap up on what we were just saying, like I even like just scrolling through social media, I see a lot of like new MySpace deathcore bands popping up that are kids that are like either our age or younger than us. Yeah. Like there's a band called Victim Blamed that I had seen a clip of like a few months ago, and they were just playing like they're all in like black skinny jeans, and like they have the fits and everything.
I just saw them today on Instagram. That's funny.
Yeah, because they commented on our post. I wanted to mention this because I saw them comment on our post. No, I just saw them playing a show, and like there's a bunch of kids just having a good time. And I just like thought it was cool because like they're a new band and we just finished doing the sound. You know, it's just like a constant cycle of like people inspiring each other. So I you know, it's important.
Yeah, Nick said unironically said them my way. I'll mold them. Yeah, I was like,
true.
I was terrified because I'm working on a song right now, and I did all my guitar and bass by myself for the first time, and I'm super. I've listened to it like 50,000 times. Like, is it tight? Is it sloppy?
That's the worst thing you can do. Don't do that. Don't
listen
do that.
to your music too much. You will.
Yes.
I have a horrible habit of doing that, and I end up hating everything that I like.
Yeah.
Do.
And then you have a vote.
Yeah.
Don't do it to yourself, bro. Finish the demo. Don't listen to it for the rest of the night, and listen to it the next day.
Yeah.
And then stop listening to it.
Yeah, I ended up doing that. Like the guy who's doing my master, you know, my mix and master. He's like, dude, it's okay. Like, I've listened to it. You're good. Stop.
Yeah, and it's super anxious if you haven't
super
noticed.
Anxious with everything.
Nick said Brandon from Swampside wouldn't even mix the first Drake song because his track's so bad.
Yeah, for me, it's like I'm very self-conscious. Like, I also have a band, and I'm like, okay, we're good. But when it's all relying on myself and I'm doing everything, I'm like, I probably fucked up somewhere. Like, that's not, and you need. I think you're right. I think you need to let go, because after a while, re-listening to the same thing. After a while,
you get listeners fatigue.
Yeah. I just
you don't even know anymore either way.
No.
If you're already critical on like what you're writing, just like stop listening to it, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of, I just at this point I just let go, and I'm like, okay, it's in his hand. We'll see if it's
Absolutely.
okay or not. But yeah, and by the way, I love Nick's like he's been commenting a few times. I love his takes on things. Seemed like a cool dude. Just wanted to
Nick is a big deal for the MySpace deathcore revival, I would say.
Oh 100%. Yeah,
absolutely.
Put us on a lot of good stuff when we were recording with him too. I will say
this is true.
Nick one of the most inspiring people to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said you're in, maybe I'm wrong. You said you're in a band with him as well, right? Like
Nick is also in Fallen God.
We're in Final Warning, and we toured together with Tracheotomy. So
just to know what he's doing as a instrument or whatever. I'm just
he's playing guitar in Fallen God.
Yeah, he used to play guitar in Tracheotomy.
Awesome.
Nick does bass in Final Warning.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's good at all of that. So
he's correct.
Yes, he's an amazing musician.
Yeah.
Awesome.
One of the best here, and probably in general.
It's a good time for him to be in the chat because he's being praised a lot tonight. No, but I think like I love to point out these things because as I'm doing, documentaries on band, I'm noticing how important these people are, producers, people in studio and stuff like that. So like, I think it's important to, give credit and just like recognize that.
It all takes like group efforts. It really does.
It's something really crazy too. This is like a prophecy. The very first Mantikore show we played, which was complete, it was so like bad. We were playing the song so fast and like so sloppy. Nick and Jeff were both there. And
they were literally right there next to us.
Now we're like friends with them. We're in bands with them. Like they helped us like evolve.
And I used to listen. I used to listen to Jeff's old band Bloodbather, like when I was in like middle school too. So it's that that was a full circle moment for me because Jeff is one of my like best friends. Like I forget, you know,
like where
it's cool.
Where it kind of stems from.
Yeah, where it all comes from. Yeah, absolutely.
It really feels to me that even if, you know, it's the end of this project, it's still like it's
just the beginning.
Yeah, it's in a beautiful way.
This was like our warm up.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's kind of
we all grew a lot throughout the whole process.
Yeah, I mean, bro, I was talking about it with Luca. Like
Nick was also in Bloodbather for a small period of time.
Nick was also in Bloodbather.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was in Bloodbather, and he was also in Needle Under the Nail when they came back. But anyways, next topic.
He's in a lot of stuff. So.
I was gonna say, yeah, Nick is in a lot of stuff. Luca, what were you saying?
About what?
I just like lost my train of thought.
You're good.
Also,
you're good,
another thing I want to add, I don't know how it is in like other places because I'm sure it's still going on, but I feel like the whole deathcore revival thing, it's slowed down a bit here. People are starting to lean more into hardcore, but like everyone says that's always how it's been. It's always just hardcore.
Yeah.
But I'm noticing a lot of people are like starting to lean to that rather than deathcore revival, especially after like Tactosa was like the big name from here that was like doing that. Now obviously they're not around anymore.
Love you, Nick.
Yeah.
For a long time, I feel like Tactosa, it was like the image of the old school deathcore revival.
Tactosa and Tracheotomy was the face for a while. And I would say Psycho Frame is on the top right now.
100%.
Yeah, they're just like they're killing it at
shout out Hunter and Brandon.
Remote Godseeker. Oh my dude, when they play here.
Man, like
I'm so pissed off. They keep releasing these fucking tour flyers. Not coming our way.
We're always waiting for that. Yeah, we're always because we're both extremely open about the fact that we're big
I'll drive pretty fucking far, but the spite thing they're doing, I think the closest is like 10-hour drive. I'm like,
damn, that's far.
Shit.
Yeah, Hunter is
just out of reach.
My God, like I'm always excited. Like when they drop, you know, their last EP, and we were waiting. Like it's like it's gonna be good. You just know it. Like beforehand, we were like, that's gonna be awesome. So
absolutely.
No, they're incredible, and this dude is super cool. Also, Hunter. I mean, like he's
Hunter's awesome.
Just super cool dude. But it makes sense though. You're saying that it's moving on more hardcore. Like it's always like kind of a circle. After
there's a lot of other genres coming back too.
You know what?
I think the screamo scene is coming back as well.
Yeah.
I would say Florida is. There's other scenes. There's other scenes that are doing, I would say, equally or better than us.
Texas has a lot of.
The Texas scene is very crazy. If you guys have seen it,
but I think in those more like niche kind of categories, like the MySpace revival and like the screamo revival, and even back when there was like the more like old school metalcore type like revival and stuff, I feel like a lot of it all happens in Florida. Like, sure, there's like a few other bands afterwards, but I think it starts primarily.
There's Florida definitely like deserves a lot of credit for a lot. In the past,
what I see
20
happening is kind of like it like you're saying like, okay, it's moving on to hardcore, but I'm seeing the start of like the old school MySpace. Like deathcore revival starting to pop up elsewhere now.
I mean, like we said before, this is the beginning. This is the beginning of a lot of different genres coming back. So I think we just have to wait and see. There's a lot going on. There's a lot,
honestly, everywhere.
Yeah, but like I said,
it's just growing also, right? Like I feel like it's just like the audience.
Yeah, it's just spreading
more and more younger.
And with the internet, it's different now. Yeah. So like it's just, everything spreads. But the Texas scene is crazy. The Northeast scene is awesome. Connecticut, Mass. like most places in Florida. California has been doing great for a while.
They did the
everywhere.
whole Bay like hardcore thing.
Yeah, the Bay
like,
Area hardcore
Jesus.
was like a whole like it's still going on. Like there's still like
going,
a lot of shows
and I mean, Cali's are always been huge into tech death and more like brutal death. And stuff like
it's
that.
everywhere.
That's like just always been a thing there. But yeah.
There's some new. I noticed a lot of like younger brutal death metal bands have been coming out, and they're like fire.
There's
Virologist, Regurgitated Entrails.
Yes, Regurgitated Entrails.
Submerged. So good. Nuclear Remains is like the bigger one on Maggot Stomp right now.
Yeah.
They're like, it's pretty sick.
Oh, it's cool to see. Like, I feel like everything is just like growing, and of course for me, like the seeing bands like Elisa and Jerome and stuff like that. By the way, it must be you have a lot of pressure when you're one of these cold bands that people were waiting for years. It must be kind of, dude, coming back and you're like I would probably be stressed, but they're so talented. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not scared, but it's cool to see though. To see that they're coming back. It's great.
We actually we covered Eat the Gun at one of our shows.
Oh, we did cover Eat the Gun.
Oh,
it's funny because no one knew it. Literally, just like Nick
nobody
and
knew.
like two other people.
Yeah, Nick, like everyone in Drake like knew it, and that was it.
Such a good song, man. Honestly, like I'm kind of
Eat the fucking.
Yeah, I'm kind of just like dreaming that they come back and I could finally see that freaking song live. You know?
Oh yeah, that was that show.
Yeah.
Sick show.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, really. Like I'm, as Dom said, I'm just like really excited to see where it's heading with like Psycho Frame, Slamwish, whatever. Like all these bands bringing it back. Just very curious to see new generation kind of thing. Sorry, I'm reading what Nick said about Heed the Gun without vocals between.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
That needs to come out now.
I forgot about that song.
It's never coming out.
It's never happening.
That's not coming out.
I think I heard it. I heard it once. It was funny.
Look, I could see what speakers you were plugged into. I'll figure out the track somehow.
Just get Nick on next.
Yeah.
But man, I think that kind of wraps it. But I'd love to kind of, if you guys have anything you guys want to say in terms of what you guys got coming up, whether it be with the band itself. I know you guys already wrapped up the merch store and stuff. But if you guys want to maybe promote the show that's coming up and kind of shout outs or anything like that you want to do.
Yeah, definitely want to shout out a lot of people. What's it called?
God, we're playing like a list.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Yeah, no. So we're playing our last show on what day, Luca? I forget.
February 24th.
February 24th. That will be our last show. The lineup is Mantikore, Ephemeral, Gaijin with Paper Wings, Vivida, and Gutter Snipe. Definitely, if you're in Florida, come check it out. And I'm sure someone's
shout out a bunch of bands too, Nick.
Yeah, so I'm sure someone's about to someone will record it. So you guys will probably end up seeing it.
All good.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of people I want to shout out. I'll think of it on the top of my head. Equinox Booking, Jeff and Toby, all the bands are in. Fallen God, obviously. All the bands that I listed earlier, that me and Luca are in, are going to be active. And probably more bands from like the three of us in here and everyone else as well. Trying to think. Luca, you have anyone?
I got a lot.
Right, go ahead. This comes from all of us, by the way.
Yes, local bands.
It's bad I remember.
Yeah, I'm gonna forget some because there's just a bunch of like sick talent that's been popping up. No Truth, Agitate, Gaijin, of course. This is not in the state, but Bolt Cutter is very sick. Corpse Pile, very sick.
Bolt Cutter is sick. We've got someone from Bolt Cutter in our Discord who is sharing
awesome.
They just put out some stuff. It's fucking banging.
Yeah, that band is great.
When it comes to melodic death metal, these are all like very small bands. They're literally all solo projects, but they like reignited my passion for music recently. But Shank and Astro Decay. Upon Stone is like a bigger band. Upon Stone from the San Fernando Valley. Yeah. Amazing band. They're so
absolutely
cool,
amazing. The new record is perfect. Yeah.
Jesus.
There's a lot of South Florida bands. Gutter Snipe. Ephemeral.
Beast
I'm
Plague,
like blanking. There's a
Domain,
lot.
Beast Plague, Domain.
Domain, new record soon. Shout out Domain.
I've been hearing a lot about Domain recently.
Have you ever listened to Domain?
Yeah.
Domain is the dude. Domain is the shit.
The name come up in the past like week or so. It's kind of, I'm gonna just say a bunch of names: Dime, Collateral, Psycho Frame, Balmora.
Shout out Chamber. They were so cool. Chamber. It was a dream to tour with them. Like that was one of the biggest full circle moments for me ever. That band is so awesome. That's my favorite live band. They're so sick.
Trying to think who else. I'm trying to think of
Steel,
just like
Cold Steel. They're so nice. One of the
coolest of Evan, but I don't know.
This is the last interview, so I want to definitely include people that just like have helped us throughout the years. Trying to think. We played a show with the Holy Ghost Tabernacle Choir one time. That band was really cool. Low Surmise, Birth of Tragedy. Who else?
I'm looking through a bunch of stuff right now.
Deep Slate just came out with some new shit.
Graves and Opposition Dolls.
So many South Florida homies.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot, dude. But yeah. A lot of our friends that just have helped us out throughout the years, who are all still making music. Very active.
Yo, shout out to Jesus Peace. This is actually a really funny story. They came at a venue down here, and I was with my friend. I was with Andres, and we tried to get in, but it was 18 plus. This is like right before I turned 18. Like this is in 2022, I think. And we sat outside just to listen to the whole set. Like whatever, like we were already there. We drove like an hour, and they shouted out Drake and Mantikore, so that's really cool.
Yeah,
I like tapped in.
It was just really random, but he was like, "This one's for Tracheotomy and Mantikore," and we're like, "What
it's
the
so
fuck?"
Interesting to see such like a big band like them to be tapped into like smaller bands. Really cool. It's so cool.
Yeah,
shout out Knife Wound.
They've got that like very hardcore vibe to them. Like I don't know how to say like the. I don't know. They do seem to be tapped in with the community. It's kind of cool to see it that way.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean, I can't really think of more. There's definitely a lot more. So my bad if I left your name out.
On the spot like that sometimes it's
yeah, definitely.
Oh, for sure, man. Oh, that's cool, man. I was really happy to be able to get you guys on.
Those folks are at Thestra.
True.
No, you're
good. MySpace deathcore.
Those are
some really fun fellows.
True.
Those guys are doing that genre in a cool way too.
They sound the most like MySpace than anyone else. I don't care what anyone says. They are doing the sound the most accurate.
I agree.
They sound just like it. Yeah, it's great.
That's cool. I'm eager to see what those guys do next. Like what their follow up is going to be to
new talent in Orlando as well with Paper Wings and Testament of Hate. I've been seeing it. The Orlando kids are building up the scene right now. Very cool.
And Datra's Embrace.
Yeah.
They don't have anything out though. And they're one of the people in the band is a storyboard artist for SpongeBob, which is really awesome.
He did that Peeling Flesh merch. I don't know if you all saw that.
He did Peeling Flesh merch and Snuffed on Sight merch.
I'm such a Peeling Flesh dude. Like I was talking about waking the cadaver earlier, but like Peeling Flesh is like it's so freaking. I'm kind of dreaming like waking and Peeling Flesh together in my mind. Like it would make a lot of sense to do like a tour or something.
That would actually be a good feature. Like if they featured with each other or something. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Peeling Flesh was so sick live. That was a crazy show.
Yeah, they're coming here soon.
Yeah, and they seem like awesome dudes too. Like I've seen podcasts, interviews.
Yeah, Luca knows.
Yeah, we played with them in Kansas.
I mean, if anyone in the chat's got some last minute questions, we could maybe do that. But I mean, aside from that, I mean, like I said off the top, I was wanting to have you guys on in general. Then you guys announcing the breakup, I had to I had to reach out ASAP and
we appreciate it. We appreciate it.
No, but I mean, I'm super thankful for you guys to have taken the time to
super
do this out of your
grateful.
day and to come on and do this. So it's
And
super.
allow us to be your last interview. It's a big thing too.
Our
So
first
like,
and our last.
yeah,
First and our
But,
last.
you know,
Bender,
Yeah,
magnitude.
thank you guys for
True.
giving us the opportunity.
of course,
welcome.
of
Yeah,
course,
super.
man.
We really appreciate it.
You guys are first multiple people like, but I mean we had Slam, which were like 3, I think, isn't it?
No,
like our
three is the lowest
biggest.
we did. Yeah.
There you go. So it's awesome.
We got some rapid fires here. Favorite set.
Favorite set?
Craig EP release show, I gotta say.
All right.
Really?
Besides Gabe breaking their leg. Besides that.
Yeah. True.
Dude, hold on.
That's a
I'm
definitely
trying
up
to
there though.
think.
There's a lot of good ones.
All right. While you guys search, Luca, what's your shoe size?
Wow.
11.
Okay. Gabe, what texture is your hair, and do you prefer 2-in-1 or individual?
What does that even mean?
The
I think,
shampoo,
like, the
2-in-1
shampoo, so-
shampoo conditioner, or
Oh, like the 2-in-1?
separate? Yeah. 2-in-1
Bro,
or not?
separate. Yo, if you're
Separate?
using
Okay.
2-in-1 shampoo conditioner, bro, you're not cleaning
You
your hair.
should never do that.
You should not do that.
Like, as someone who was a barber for 7 years, just never
Yeah, no.
use those it's horrible. Like, there's a reason why it's 2 separate products. Like, you don't, every 2-in-1s you see, it's horrible, if I'm honest.
We played a show with From Joy and Corpse Pile. That was one of my favorite
That
ones.
one was so
That
much
was
fun.
really good
Yeah.
too.
From Joy is
Yeah, that was
badass
it.
as fuck. I love the
Yeah.
style they're going for. It's,
From Joy's awesome.
They're awesome.
A lot of
the
people
general
hate on them.
aesthetic
I
for the
think
band
they're
is
so
fucking
sick.
sick. No,
Yeah.
they're fucking awesome. Yeah.
Corpse Pile is a
Corpse
band we
Pile,
love.
too.
Yeah.
Also, favorite sets, the one in January, like our second show ever, even though we were still like immature and kind of
No,
like new.
that was a
that's,
blast,
That's one of
though.
my favorite
Yeah.
sets we've ever played.
That was huge
'Cause
for
there was
us.
so much
Yeah.
hype and like so much presentation behind it. Like we put in so
Yeah.
much work into that show. It was really sick. And also the Slamwood show. That was one of like our
The
tightest
Slamwood
sets.
show was good. We also played a show with Chamber.
At
We played a
Ginger's.
secret. Yeah, we played a secret set. That was pretty fun.
Awesome.
That's sick.
But yeah, that's what I would have to say.
I mean, they're all like hair related and, and like
It's all Nick.
shaving.
What did he
It's
say?
all Nick, it's all
Andres shortening surgery. Andres is huge.
Yeah,
He's not here,
Gabe
unfortunately.
uses 15-in-1 shampoo, car gas,
Yeah.
lotion. I don't
Yeah,
even
bro.
know, dude. I ran out of ideas.
It's food for you at the same time. Like it feeds you.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
It's like
It is like a
it
snack.
feeds you, it hydrates you. Like I just have to take a shower and I'm basically
You're
good.
good for the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
There we
right,
go.
man. I mean, if you guys have any other
Caleb, that was a
closing
fun show.
thoughts, go for
I don't
it.
know
If
what
not,
to
I
say.
think
I
we're
mean,
good
at
to
the-
wrap it up.
Shout out South Florida Hardcore and Equinox Booking.
Hell yeah.
And if you follow Equinox Booking, you will be kept up with all the music we do. And we'll definitely be posting about it on the Mantikore account. So, and it's
Cool.
going to be soon.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah,
There we
of
go.
course. I'm sure everyone. We're all looking forward to see what you guys are going to come with next. So.
Absolutely. Thank
Only
you.
the beginning. So
Yes.
Yes, sir.
This was a big part of our lives, but like it's cool that because of it
Yeah.
we've branched out like so
we
much.
all we started so young that we like grew up like in the process of the band.
that's awesome.
It's kind of funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Piece of your
We've gone through
history.
some shit.
Yes,
We've gone through
definitely.
some crazy stuff
Yeah,
in
there
the
was a lot of
course of this
bullshit.
bands.
Yeah. True.
I
There you
mean,
go.
it'd be boring if not. So
This is
I
true.
think that's a good thing. All right. Well, thank you
Awesome,
guys so
man.
much for hanging out, and
Absolutely.
we're gonna be keeping tabs on what you guys are doing next, and hopefully
who
hear
knows?
from you guys.
Yeah,
with some
definitely.
new music and stuff. Yeah.
We're probably gonna have you back, but as your new projects in the future. So
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to.
For sure.
there you go.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for us. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks,
We'll,
you.
we'll
Thank
catch
you
you
guys.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Welcome, man.
Have a good night.
Super cool. You too.
See ya.